hello you, welcome to Geekism and welcome back to Foundation. Before we get started, we're going to take a look at some of these suggestions from the last couple of videos and implement them into our city. First of all, wells and other things to make the residential areas fill out a little bit. I'm not actually sure if this helps or not, but we're going to pop a couple in just in case. Next up, the treasury is too small, and I completely agree. We're losing money from trades happening around our city and not being able to hold on to the cash. So every single piece of manor building we have now also has a little bit of treasury on it as well. A few people pointed out that the wall seemed to be the wrong way around our island bailey. It doesn't seem to really matter. It's still fortified, but from a cosmetic point of view, and just the fact that you've pointed it out is going to irritate me no end, so we'll fix that as well. Some more farm fences were suggested so as that our little visitors stop wandering through the farms. I think that's a great idea. And this little spot was just a bit of forbidden land that I think I'd set up at one point to try and stop the people walking through the farms. Okay, that's all the housekeeping done. Let's get on with the episode. Welcome back to Foundation. I hope you enjoyed that little overview of some of the bits I did off camera. One thing I will say about Foundation, as much as I adore this game, some of this stuff does take a little bit of a time to get sorted. So here we go now, back in the city. To be honest with you, when I rebuilt this wall the way around, all of these houses downsized and then all of them resized back up again. It was pretty stressful. Let's take these folks. We've got plenty of places to stick them. There we go. We have now reached 100 prosperity, which means our common path 4 is done. We're so far off a lot of this stuff, but we will be looking at some of it today to start off with clothing. But there is a few other bits and bobs I did off camera. Just wanted to show you those. We added a granary over here that pretty much exclusively holds wheat and a little bit of flour. It gets really stocked up now, so our bakery never... I say never has to wait for resources. It literally has zero flour there right now. There should be flour there. Why is there not? I mean, I guess we could add some flour to this, which is our granary. I moved it over just to open up this area here. Ugh, I don't know. I'm still struggling to figure that out. It seems to be okay. I will say that we could probably do with a second windmill at some point because we just constantly have quite a bit of wheat kept in here and in all of these during growing season as well. So I don't think a second windmill would necessarily do us any harm. Let's put one down here. I think it'll sit quite nicely there. Boop. A booby doop. Okay, so that was that. I've also earmarked this space here for residential, although they haven't needed to use it just yet. Also, we have, what else did we do? We added a few more gathering huts because our berries were really low. They're right back up there again now, which is great. So we have one over here and one all the way over here. This one's actually full. Doesn't seem to get picked up by our granary staff very often, but it is quite far out. The reason it's so far out is because I have made all of this residential here. It's slowly filling out now, especially now we have our well, which is just here. That helps. And then also this area here has been filled out basically to help extend. We've had another butcher set up over here, so hunter and butcher here, and then also our logging camp. We've had a bit of a development on this as well, so as that we now are producing many more logs and a second sawmill, so that we're producing many more planks. The main reason I wanted to input planks is partly because a lot of the buildings we're building there requires them, but also, if we have a look here in the Royal Book, or the mandates even, if we wish to increase our Davenport trade route, it requires 150 planks, which is kind of crazy, but we are slowly working towards that. Obviously, every time we build something, we get a little bit further away from it, but that is going to be the goal there, to increase that trade route. Here we can see here that now this first trade route here, which I think only really sells polished stone and planks, which we'll probably have to stop for a bit, meat as well. But they can now purchase 90 from us rather than the 25 or 45, excuse me, that these can purchase. These are both ready to update, but one of them needs tools, one of them needs planks. And to unlock this final middle one here, which means we can then start selling fish and clothes, we need to produce clothes, which is what we're going to look at today. So I do feel like we need to sort of set up a third arm of our city Wheat for the king. We have a lot of wheat. We have tons of wheat, but it's not in storage. Let's try a better deal. Did it get better? Yeah, it did. I mean, I want to say yes. Why is the not wheat all sat in storage? This has lots of flour and bread. This has wheat, 0 wheat. Is it all because they're sat here? Ah, it's all because they're sat here. Momentarily then, this will all be moved into the granary and we can get that quest. That's good. Okay. Yes, I think we need to add in another arm. Here, we're going to leave this for hunting to start off with, because here our hunter basically fills all this area. And what looks like happens is that there is a gap from where the boars sit, and that is partly affected by buildings and what have you. You'll see here they're further away from the edge of a forest, basically. It's the same again. If you look over on this one, we can see the same. Yeah, there, look. They all just sit away from the edge of a forest. So I think if we build here, all of this will get cut away, and it'll just push the boars further away from outside of our area of influence. On this side, we can afford that a little bit more, because most of our boars are over here, whereas if we turn this bit here into a sheep farm area, I think that could work quite well. So we're actually going to come into territory and purchase that. Now we have a larger treasury. Absolutely no issues in holding on to larger areas here. So we'll move this area here, and we're actually going to clear out a little bit here, just to give us a bit of space to work with. We still want to keep a chunk of what's going on, but for now, we'll do that. And taxes and trade earn us over 500 and something, and all the outgoings look to be around about 400, so we're making money there even with construction. Alright, so let's take a look at what we need for sheeps. So clothing, this opens up sheep farm, weaver's hut and tailor's workshop. That's all we need for that. And the goods market, which means we can start selling those to the citizens. I think we might look at upgrading a few commoners today as well. So we'll click open both of those, because I would like to have the final point of this, the tailor's workshop, inside this area here, similar to how we have the bakery. I think that'd be a good fun way of doing it. Also, I've cleared off this area outside of residential, because I think this would make a good sort of church at some point. We obviously have a rustic church over here. If this develops into a secondary town at some point, we will do similar there. But I would like a stone church here that sort of really attaches onto the stone walls that we'll be eventually able to build. So we're going to keep that area here, and then we'll be able to hopefully get a weaver's hut. I mean, that looks a pretty good spot for one. Let's just see. Goods production, tailor's workshop, that's going to fit lovely in there. I mean, I suppose we can get started on it, although it isn't really going to do much to begin with, but for now we can get started on it, and because we might need to look at getting some sort of storage unit over here as well. So I'm going to build it a little bit closer to the path there, although I suppose if we bring it around this way, it'll make its own path here, and that looks a little better than the really large raised bit on the front there. So yeah, actually, I think we'll do it that way. Okay, we'll build that. It's going to be a good while before we need it. We're going to build this area here. Now, I would like to think that a path will develop along the wall here. Whether it will or not, I'm not sure. They're starting to build something this way, so that's good fun. I would like a path that just sort of leans across the water there, but maybe not. The other thing we can do is put a path in, like right across here, and basically just have this accessible via 4 points. If we look at our progression, we can actually unlock the stone versions of the wood stuff we're building right now. So city fence, control movements. I mean, I hope that's stone, city fence and city gateway, and then stone bridge. And what's this? Luxury market? Yes, we don't need to worry about luxury right now. Do you know what? I'm going to open those, because if we're going to build these, we might as well build them with a view to extend them out. Yeah, look. It is stone walls and stone bridges and stone bits and bobs. So I think we're actually going to come into here, We're going to edit this building. We're going to take this piece and remove it. I worry that's going to stop the zones being what they need to be. But hopefully... do they not class as... yeah, no longer met. That's a problem. Does that not class as fortifications anymore then? Well, that's fine. So we still have to do wooden fortifications, but we can do a stone bridge, which we will be able to hopefully add bits onto. What we need to stop is this this thing running down. Goods production, yeah, that's okay. So where are those things we've just unlocked? Is it all on the wall? Okay. City gateway. So here's what we need to do. To build one of these over... We're going to line that up as best we can. Oh, that's really annoying that it doesn't go spot on. Hold on, let's move away and try again. Okay. Oh, there is a click there in between the two. Maybe there isn't. Okay, well, let's hope that's okay. We should be able to raise it up, which we obviously need to. Okay. We'll click build, then we'll come into this and edit it. Okay, so at some point, I'm pretty sure we will be able to do stone fortifications, but for now, we will be able to. Just want to try and put that piece in a little better. We will be able to use this, and that should be okay. So let's apply the changes. I really hope all these houses don't go down again. Why does this whole thing need rebuilding? I feel like it shouldn't be. I'm hoping the game just kind of sees that this is happening. We did not deliver the merchandise on time. Oh shoot, I forgot about that. Never mind. I'm hoping that the game sees that the upgrade is happening and therefore doesn't allow these to wear down. Do we see the number trickling away? How does it need to be within light fortification? Is that circle slowly going down? I can't quite tell. We hope not, because this happened last time. They all fell down and then they all built back up again. I really hope that the game either gives us does give us some time. So what we need to do then is come into bridge here and click absolutely prioritize construction. It just requires wood. That's the good thing about this, is it just requires wood. We just need to get that wood here very quickly. This is genuinely going to be come and go. There's about we're like 5 minutes to doomsday here on the clock, but I think this is going to get finished. All the wood's there. Nippinger is done it. Good lad. Look at that. Just in the nick of time now. Light fortification is fully back up again. That is definitely something we're going to have to consider when looking to upgrade that to stone or whatever. Okay. Carrying on then. This has most of what it needs apart from tools. We are still purchasing tools. We're still way off building them ourselves because we've got to get up to here, basically. I mean, once we get up to here, man, there's going to be a big industrial zone. But until then, we're way off making our own tools. So that'll trickle in as it happens. Also then, here, we are waiting for a builder. I tell you what we could do. Money is good enough that we can probably come here and tell the town to purchase more tools. Because at the minute, I think we only buy 10 at a time. Let's have a look. Tools, purchase until we're at 10. Yeah, let's actually say 30 tools. I think cash-wise, we're doing fine there. Okay, that's great. So the end game there is done for the goods production. We need all the other stuff. We need a weaver's hut and a tailor's workshop. The weaver's hut is going to be on the edge of the bridge here. And we'll say one weaver's hut. And we'll also look at building 2-sheep farm. I feel like that's a decent enough start. There is a path starting to form here, so we'll kind of keep it going. Now, interestingly, comment from one of our regulars, Gamer Girl, she said that the sheep can no longer roam through the wheat fields. I'm interested to know what that actually means, because we used to just stick them down and they potted all through here, so maybe they literally can't now. It's going to be very interesting to see whether or not they can't. But yeah, I think what's going to happen eventually is all of this starts to become residential. Hoping either of these markets is good enough, but if not, we may need a little tiny market here, even if it's just sort of berries and fish. I don't think fish... Oh no, fish. There are fish in the pond. So we could just stick a fisher's hut here as well. Seeing as we're in the sort of stinky... oh no, that's gathering. Seeing as we're in the stinky spot anyway, because all of these provide us with stink. We could just stick a fisher's hut here, and he just works the pond. So we've got saltwater fish and now freshwater fish. Why not? Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen. Residential is probably going to come up to here. So let's turn on our undesirable neighborhood area, and let's give all of this to be residential. There we go. And then we'll take hunting away. And you already see how hunting just isn't all of this space. Like, the hunter has to go right over here before he's finding any. We're doing okay, though. We're, I mean, that might be the area is cleared out, to be fair. Like, he maybe just doesn't go that far. But we'll see. We'll make all of that space residential. We're going to move the berry hut further in. You can basically come down here and become part of the sheep world. You might not like to live near this stuff, but you don't mind working by it, which is good. Okay, let's knock the... oh, we'll leave that on. I prefer that one on. Okay, so we've got a lot to get built here. I think this is going to be built and useless for a while, but that's fine. At least we've got the spot for it. I like the idea of the end of the production cycles happening here in the town, and then the rest happening over here, and then they are going to have to sort of cart it down here. We have the granary here holding the bread and the final ingredient. We may well do the same here, holding the problem is the what is it called? The warehouse is kind of huge. We may lose a house. There's a vision of this where I kind of stick it here and lose that house. But I think perhaps it might need doing, because we'll need to hold both the cloth or the what is it? Cloth and the clothes, I guess. Go there. I like the idea of making our own cloth though, because we're currently purchasing it. Really would rather not bring stuff in. Yeah, I'm going to build that. It will lose us a house, but it does give us this room to play with, and then that will probably serve as the goods for the whole sort of island, I guess. Awesome. All right, lots to get on with here. Alright, all that is built. Let's just check that. Yeah, I just saw somebody walk through. I was going to say, let's just check that's okay. That'll look loads better once we have a stone fortification there. So if the stone walls we added aren't fortifications, where are they going to be? Castle fortification. There we are. So we have to, at some point, work on the castle. I mean, that's fair. We want this to be one big castle anyway, honestly. Like, we're working towards Labour at the moment because it's got the fun things. But yeah, Cast Kingdom is very much going to be where we end up. Okay, let's come out of here and have a little look over here. All right, so we have Weaver Hut, and then we have these. So we can actually, we can paint a pasture. I see. So that's why it's different to how it used to be. I wonder if... Let's have a look. I mean, I have no concept of what a pasture should be. Oh, it actually makes it all little cute. Okay, let's do the same for this one then. Might have to get rid of some trees here, but... Oh! The sheep are just rocking. Wow. So that's a... So is that just... the sheep are based on the size of the pasture? This field has no workers. Okay, so we need... First of all, we need some staff. Right, who's here sitting waiting? You, thank you. Great. Okay, so you can have 2 shepherds. You can have 2 shepherds. Okay. So let's see how this works. Too small. Wow. Still too small. Jesus. I mean, this seems to have increased massively. What? This is insane. Adequately sized. Okay, well, there's no way we're going to be able to build both of these adequately sized unless we shave this one off a bit. So that's now too small. Okay, that's adequately sized. All right, let's go to this one and do the same. I mean, that's a big change from how this works. I mean, if that's too small, I'm kind of afraid that's all you're getting, really. For now, at least, we'll remove the resource here. I mean, it looks good. I will say that the pastures look pretty swell. Let's take on some more staff because we need a weaver. Boop boop. 2 weavers there. And then you can now have 1 tailor for now, although you're not going to be doing anything for a while. We'll get you in there. We'll get you ready. Find yourself a house. Do what you need to do. Okay, let's have a look here. So once all these trees come down, we're getting this no access to housing a lot, but when I click it, it doesn't show me what's happening. I'm sure the problem is just these new areas coming in, but all of this should now become housing, I feel, because all of those new people we just gave a job to are all going to want to work here, or live here even. I feel the tailor's probably just going to move into these spots. All of these are half empty, so anything we build in here is going to be looked after. Okay, I would like to paint the roses red and just shave that off a shy. There we go. Because we definitely need some fencing here. So now we have... I just would like to have a look at elegant fence. Very pretty. City fence. Oh, city fence is quite high, but it's not a fortification, so that's definitely something we have to bear in mind. Okay. So, indeed. We'll take this down here. We will put a gate in. Just in case people need to get across from it. I don't know whether they have to, but just in case they do. Build that. Separates those, and then I feel like we need... Oops, we should do the same here. And this one does not have to connect. I feel like even though the sheep themselves seemingly don't escape, we should probably build it like they can. There we go. Okay, now we have a good chunk of sheep in here. That's good. So we still have no cloth yet. I think the problem is it takes them a while to get to a decent size, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, they've definitely had a redo as well. Oh, do you know what? Kind of prefer how the old ones look, to be honest. The old ones had these big, the goofy black heads on them, and they got really big and fat. I mean, I'm sure these ones will as well. They already look like they're getting a bit bigger. I do like the fact that the pasture is a sort of cornered off area now. It didn't used to be. That is very nice. But I think I kind of preferred the old look at them. That's just full. That's fine. Don't really feel like it's worth a granary, although it feels like it isn't doing much there. But it is what it is. I suppose here we can put, if we just put berries here, maybe they'll go and grab them. That would be neat. Okay. Let's have a look here. These trees are slowly going away. That's good. All these lines here I'm not too worried about because that's just tree cutters going down. This is all now becoming housing, which is good. I'm hoping they can get to either market. You know, looking at it, perhaps not. Perhaps this side of the path here becomes a small market that just sort of does berries and fish. They can access the two sources here firsthand. I think that's probably what we do. Let's go here. I mean, they will be able to sell clothes as well, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay, let's go. One. Because these are just going to stay as common folk. So I'm not too worried about them needing much else other than a little market stall. We'll probably put a fence in. Okay. I can have a food goods sign. There we go, and I like the rustic ones here, so there's a little less colour. Okay, I'll pop those down, and then also coming into bridge, I would like city gateway here. That's probably about as best as that's going to get. It's actually one higher there, but it's probably further up the. Yeah, it is. It's like there. The sheep's a sheeping. I can hear them go. Come on, come on. That's a bit close enough. All right, and then do we do? I mean, where on earth is that pulling that from? That's kind of crazy. Do we do city wall? Let's just turn that off a moment. Do we do city wall here? We could. And we could take it at least to the forest there. I don't think that would be terrible. There's no sort of dock or anything like that to speak of. So this is the closest thing we're going to get to that, at least for now. So we'll just take that into the forest. Oh no, I don't necessarily want it that close to the water. I think it actually looks better if it's closer to the path. So let's do it like that instead. Okay, we'll work with that. Uses a lot of stone, but it's something we actually have quite a lot of. And then when that's built, we'll look at adding some nice little benches around it. Although I don't really want the houses to develop, so that's maybe the slightly only issue with the housing is that I don't necessarily want to give it beautification. I don't necessarily want it to upgrade. Maybe it isn't the worst thing in the world. I do wish for a few commoners just to see. So, how are we going to do this? What's the best way to do it? They will benefit from being optimized. The bailiff, bakers. So I don't mind doing bakers because they live there anyway. All right, the bakers and the butchers I don't really want to do. It's just the bakers and the butchers. Who are you? Oh, patrollers? Yeah, all of you can get upgraded. Stonemason, tailor, tax collector. And the priest and the watchman. Okay. Alright. We'll think about doing all of you. That may be way too many, but we'll see. Because what we're going to do is pause this. And we're going to beautify this area up a little bit. And then hopefully the commoners will move here. I'm not 100% sure how that works, to be honest, but we'll see. We have this beautiful beach planter that we can put down. We already have one there, actually. But we're going to place these around in the spots where it makes the most sense. Oh, we have to remember to hold down shift as we do this. I'm not too sure how a lot of this works, but we'll give it a go. We'll start with just these trees, I think. I'm not too sure how the sort of framing works, you know. I'll do that. Well, then actually come in and just... I know it seems silly to cut down trees because we're planting fake trees, but I really want to know what's there is what we put there, if that makes sense. So they all go down pretty straight. The house is upgrading. Where is the house upgrading? There. I mean, that is a perfectly fine spot for a house to upgrade. No issues there. It requires chuff load of planks. My gold. But otherwise, I think that's okay. Have we got any? Okay, we're starting to get wool. That's good, which in turn means we're starting to get cloth when our workers decide to join us. So what we need is you don't have a home. We need you to come and live here, basically. Like, you could live there. Is that you? You're a miller. You're a farmer. So I kind of want to... Now you have a home. No, you don't have a home. Where's your house? Okay. We've made you a commoner already. We need you to come and live in a nice common house. You're not in a beautification area. Okay. Well, that's relatively easily fixed because this little spot here, hopefully this fence will go away when we do something here. Let's beautify this spot with that has to be built on a building, doesn't it? Yeah. So we like these. We'll do one of those either side. We'll click build. So how does that... They're already beautified. Look at that. Great. And it actually starts to get rid of the fence. Now, whether the fence stays or not, I don't know. And Luzaxo, our weaver, is already moved in. Oh, it's all coming up, Johnsy. We have a few houses here doing it, which is good. So that, to me, suggests that commoners are moving to the spot rather than it just happens to have all the commoners there. What we could really do with knowing is, just at a glance here, whether we have any... Oh, that house is just empty. Oh, that house is just empty. I mean, that's a slight concern. Like, these should be prime houses. I mean, I guess they've just moved to this area. I feel like we just need to take on all we can. People aren't happy. What aren't they happy about? Service, mostly. I mean, that's fine. We were thinking about building a second church here anyway. And I'm very happy to see some of these houses build up. And I think a little church here that will eventually become part of the wall is going to be really superb. Alright, things are cooking here. I was just going to let it run, but I just realised that this thing is already full, or was already full, of clothes. They've now moved them down to here, which is good. But that reminds me, the only reason we're doing all of this is to sell the things. So we're actually going to come into the here and build out our first goods stall, which will be... Wait, why are these all empty? Oh, it's just while we're building. Jeez, I got so scared then. Okay. Good stall. We're going to put it here. What we're going to do is put it here, and then we might just have to rearrange this one a little bit to sort of make better use of that sort of little spot there. Okay. Okay, and then here we'll give it a... So we've done green, blue, red, nothing, so let's go green. Okay, we need to squeeze these in a little bit. That's okay though. The more we do of these, the better we can do. That's good. Yep, apply the changes, get that built. We'll get the goods sold there for all of these fine folks that have moved into these nicer density now. Let's have a look. A miller? No. Miller? No. Tailor? Tailor. You require service, which you're not getting, and then entertainment and goods. So the entertainment's going to be the tavern. The goods will be the clothes to begin with. We need to work on the service, and I think that's mostly just because we've had a lot more people move in. So the last thing I'm going to do this episode is begin a rustic church, stone church if possible. So where's that going to be? Clergy. We can do the monastery. We don't want that. We just want the rustic church architecture. That gives us the stone church build. And I think as far as churches go, it's identical. It just is going to fit more with the long-term aesthetic of this space. So let's come here to service, rustic church, but now we have stone gubbins. So here's our main. Which one of these is the biggest? Ooh, yeah, that one. All right. So let's go here. And then this will be... Oh, jeez. Turn this off a minute. We'll go here. And this will eventually be the... We'll connect to the wall, basically. We have a nice big bell tower that we can stick on the back. I know this isn't how they work, but I think in this case, the bell tower on the back of the space is actually going to work quite nicely. We'll raise that up. I think that looks pretty good. Now, we'll add one of these to the front. This is looking good. And then do we have a nice new stone doorway? We can stick there. It's a little close to that house. That house might have to go, to be honest. If we just put some fencing down, it probably will, won't it? Let's turn our monk around. Okay, I'm going to go just to the point that house goes, and that's not great, but I do think we need to do that. And then once this is in place, we can make the rest of it look fancy. There we go. So we'll put that down there. That's going to give us service that will basically look after all of these folks. All of these houses get upgraded. They'll be happy about the service. Let's have a look. Miller, let's find somebody who actually needs to be here. Yeah, entertainment. So you actually are getting service. So occasionally they're making their way down to that rustic church. But goods, we will be able to have here now. So we'll get a worker in there straight away. Give them the job of carrying common clothes. And to start off with now, that's all they need. We're still having no access to refined food. Apparently, yeah, here there is 24 bread and 24 meat. And here there is 26 meat and 29 bread. So unless they're just that far away, but the only people who need that are commoners, and all the commoners are now in this spot. So yeah, I'm not too sure if that's a problem. I don't know. Did we actually give somebody a job here? We didn't. We have nobody to work here. Okay. We now have 3 millers. Good stuff. Fence has gone here now. The sheep are much more realistic looking. Definitely feel like I prefer the other ones, but that's okay. Please, devs, if you're watching this, in a future update, give me an old sheep toggle. I will love you for it. That's going to give us... actually, we've only got 23 wheat. Maybe they're just getting through it. We're making 400 and something... thingy. Kathleen can't reach destination. Where's your destination? What on earth are you doing to not be able to reach that? Well, that just seems random. I feel like that's perfectly acceptable there. So chill your boots. Okay, nice. We've got some nice looking houses up here. That's good. We've got cloth coming in. We've got the church. We've got that there. We've had six clothes consumed this week. They're consuming clothes, folks. Who is our commoner resident? The priest has goods. Nice. So entertainment then is going to be what we have to work on in the next episode. At least this little church here is going to look after everyone else. So what's up here then? Do you just not have the beautification? You don't. Well, now we've cleared the trees out. Let's just come in and continue to plant some of these terracotta trees because I like them. I think they're a nice way of doing things. Do it that way so we get multiples. I mean, there's quite a few of you around there, so... Now are you in a beautification area? Now you are. Okay. Okay, so currently they don't have commoners, but I assume as we grab commoners, they'll start filling that space in. That definitely seems to be how it's happened, because all of these have quite happily moved up to commoner status without much of an issue. So I definitely think that's going to be the thing. Although it's still telling me housing insufficient. This is just full, which means, I mean, that just needs to go and get it from there. Shouldn't be a problem, really. I don't think we have anyone working this market. Did we turn off the no workers? Yeah, there we go. That was a handy little thing to have. Okay, so market tenders here and here. And it's just going to be burying fish. There we go. And it's just going to be a second option for these houses here. The few houses that eventually will fill in this area, I'm sure, at some point, one day, people will move there. Villager path blocked. What has happened here suddenly that means that people can't get through? I'm just going to pause the game for a moment and try and figure it out. Morga, who is currently chopping down a tree, can't access. So I don't really know what they're trying to access is the problem. That's still a little vague for me. Maybe that comes out that way. I don't think anything here is particularly inaccessible. It would tell me, I'm sure. Maybe. No. See if that helps. But yeah, not sure about that. Okay, what's going on here? What are they happy about? Influential village. We just have an influential village. Invited traders from the labour estate to allocate more resources, sweetening trade opportunities. Nice. We're still way off having 150 planks here, but that's mostly because we're spending on upgrading these. Every single time one of these houses upgrades, it costs 20 planks. It's kind of huge, really. I think we need to probably start looking at having more of a tax office thing. I don't think they're currently doing very good. She's a tax collector. She's a commoner, though, which is good. I just think she's not doing it. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot for her on her own. So what we could do with doing is just going into the bailiff office here and just adding in a tax collector. Although, cash-wise, it doesn't seem to be much of a problem. Okay. Alright, I think overall we're doing pretty well. This church is done. My goodness, they're throwing that up. They actually have everything they need. It's just getting finished off. Old Cavassier is doing it. Nice. Done. We actually have nobody to come and work for us. Who's going to be a priest? Let's find out. Who wins the priest lottery? Elisant is now our priest. There we go. And people are flooding in already to get some good old religion. All right, let's make this fancy with a nice fence. We'll do, I mean, elegant. If we can't have an elegant fence here, I don't know what we can have. So let's go. Let's go for a nice curve around here. We'll put in an elegant archway. That looks good. And then we'll do a nice straight bit over here. And then another elegant archway. We should get people walking through it, if nothing else. There we go. And then this can come to here. Is that what we did on the other side? Beautiful. Okay, let's say apply those changes. That's going to use a lot of polished stone, but it'll get there eventually. And there's our little church setup. Still rustic, but kind of in keeping with the kind of vibe we're looking for eventually here, which is more of a sort of stone build. And yeah, it's keeping everyone pretty happy. So overall, I think we've had a pretty good episode. We've built most of these houses up into commoners. Let's hope they stick okay. Housing insufficient. Oh, it actually clicks this time. So your housing is insufficient. Who are you? You are a commoner. You've gone to buy goods, have you? You're on your free time. You're a stonemason. Aha. Yes, stonemasonry is going to be a bit of an issue because you're down here. So one or two of the houses here needs to be a little bit better. Let's see. Can we do something like this? Beautification. We need to make a couple of that. We did have a couple of the houses here fancy beforehand, but it's going to be tricky. She's happy to go there. All right, we'll have a look at that in the next episode. We may have to move the stonemasons because I really want to try and keep our higher residents here in the middle here. But so far, I think this is working pretty well. We have lovely sheep. We have a nice new church, and our Bailey is coming on nicely. Yeah, positive episode. Happy with how it's come along. Again, any feedback. Again, we'll look at carrying this wall around as we go. But any feedback, please drop it down. Anything you think I've missed, please drop it down. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next one, be good.